Greetings! I'm Reverend John O'Toole, and here we are again for another exciting FaerySpeak video where I read the cards for you out there, and sometimes me, because you never know. The Fairy speaks for both you and me. Now, how can you think otherwise? Now, I ask this question every time lately, and I'm going to ask you again. Have you drawn your fairy? Have you drawn it yet? Can you picture them? In your mind's eye? You picture them right here on this card? Or perhaps you'll draw a picture and put it on the refrigerator and people go, "What the heck was that?" And you'll just laugh. Better to laugh than try to explain it, because some people might just find it a little strange. You believe there are some people out there that feel that way? I kind of have to think. I think we might be on episode 29. We are either hitting the big 3-0 that so many put a lot of energy around, or it's 29. So I'm going to shuffle up some cards, and we are going to, have you had a good week? It's been an interesting week. If you're not in this country, you must be like laughing about what's going on in this country, or sad, I don't know. It's interesting. It's never a dull moment. We had 4 years of dull moments, and now we're back to very strange occurrences all around us. So, without any other further ado, we are going to pull, I guess we're doing 6 cards again, and we'll try to squeeze them in to our time we have, and we will see what we have. Oh, by the way, as I always show, but for those newcomers, I am using the Fairy Oracle by Brian Froud. F-R-O-U-D. Yeah, F-R-O-U-D. Wouldn't you like to spend an afternoon with this guy that comes up with all these fairies? It'd be quite the interesting adventure, wouldn't it? My crystal skull hasn't really come up very well in the video. Maybe I should pick one of my other ones. I have some other ones. I have one that uses a green quartz, and I have one that uses a black quartz. Now let's try this one. And then we're going to try this one. How about this one? How do you think that's a good one? And then maybe we will try this one. And then I'm going to, we got 4 cards. I am going to split the deck, dump it on the floor. And grab 2 more. This one and this one. In fact, we're going to grab that one first. Now this one is a reverse card on the get-go. Number 59. Bodacious Bullock. Number 59. This actually doesn't have much imagery in reverse. There we go. It's number 59. This is what it looks like in reverse. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave these vertical on the pedestal. So tried that for a little while. I don't know. Didn't get much feedback about it, but I think we'll stick with them being in the vertical position for you to look at, and you can always flip them over in your mind if you're trying to think about it. You could turn over and stand on your head, or you could rotate your TV 180 degrees. Whatever works for you. I'm not judging. Number 59. The bodacious buttock. Meddling, tampering, sabotage, and helpful fixing. But this card's in reverse. Reward that person in your life that does good when they usually get it right. Well, isn't that an odd card to start out with? Let's see. Their next card. Oh, the Fairy Godmother. How odd is that card? Also in reverse. Huh, number 25. Here we go. I got reflection. Fairy Godmother. This card was in reverse. And she's holding an apple, looks like, too, which is, how interesting is that? Well, I guess there's some wings. Some Fairy Godmother wings that you can only see when it's in reverse. And then that is an interesting thing, isn't it? And there's a fairy behind her, too. And an owl. An owl. Maybe an owl. It depends on how you interpret an owl. The energy around an owl is the trail. People get excited when they see an owl. But usually when an owl appears with you, somebody in your life is betraying you. So the Fairy Godmother. Gifts, talents, grace, helpful lessons. Helpful lessons. But this card's in reverse. Our daily lives or things are harder than they need to be. That we're trying too hard. How interesting is that? Are we trying too hard to accomplish the things that we wish in our lives? Could be. What do you think? Let's try this card over here. Ah, this one. This is one of my favorites. I won't tell you why. Iris of the Rainbow. I have a whole bed of irises out front. Well, actually, I don't have as many as I used to. I wish I had more irises. Famous last words, and then you have too many you know what to do with. I have hostas, and I have daffodils who managed to survive the snowstorm. Supposed to get some more snow tonight. Iris of the Rainbow. It's a very pretty card. This card was vertical. I'll show you this one. You can kind of guess why. I think it's one of my favorite cards. And this card was vertical. I have a cheat sheet that I use to help me feel the energy. Some people say I should have the cards all memorized. So when I do a reading, I don't need the cheat sheet. I say to them, you try it. Before you judge me, let's see you try it. And you memorize every single card's energy. Hope, promise, future of the promise for the future. So if we're trying too hard, it may have difficulty seeing what's on the other end of the rainbow. But how can you really tell what's on the end of the rainbow anyway? Because every little micro decision you make affects your future. It's not a very aggressive reading so far. Maybe that's a good thing, because we really could use a break, don't you think? Especially if you follow politics at all. Let's try this card. I'm wondering about it. Oh, another pretty card. I don't dare say why. And this card is a vertical card. Last Moon's Daughter. Light cast in shadows. Spiritual guidance. Illuminations and riddles. Now if this card was in reverse, it would be emotional needs are not met. So I guess it's a good thing that we've moved along, because we've been struggling in these readings for a bit of a time. It's probably kind of nice to have just a breath of fresh air, don't you think? Light cast in shadows, spiritual guidance, illumination, and riddles. Well, that's because our future is somewhat of a mystery. You think you kind of know what's going to happen, but it really is kind of vague. So, there you go. Guidance and illumination. Interesting, isn't it? We might be ending up pulling some extra cards today. Another vertical card. You guys are on a roll today. Remember last week when almost every card was in reverse? This looks like number 39. Wow, it is 39. Laguna, the sunken treasure. Laguna. Yep. Another nice card. Sunken treasure, discovery of self-adventure. Now if this card was in reverse, we'd be bored, tired of the same old thing. Well, gee golly gee, we're not bored and tired of the same old thing. Except for wearing those things on our faces. We're really tired of that. Well, it is interesting, isn't it? Our little mysteries, our little micro decisions leads us to a new surprise and a new thing to work on, or a new thing to discover. It's been kind of that way this week. Look at this. Oh wow, look at that. Cool. Cool. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. Recently, I had a break in my security on my computers. It was somebody close to me too, that they figured out a way to get money out of my accounts without my knowledge and permission, which I've remedied in the most unfortunate ways of inconvenience for me. But it also was interesting because it showed me how things tie together without your knowledge. So when you think that you're being really clever about your security, and you make a purchase, say you go on to Facebook and you say, oh cool, that's something I really like, or I really like that, I don't know what it is, I could say mask or I don't know, plant or whatever it is. And you say, cool, and you click on the link, and you click on the link, and you finally get to their website, as if you searched for it yourself online. And then you purchase it. And you say, okay, cool, I'm done with that. What you just did is you gave permission to Facebook access to where you take your money out of. So if somebody were to hack into your account, they could get access to your money, where that came from, because Facebook was given permission to have access to it. And if you don't scrutinize all your securities and all those little things over there in the tab file, you're not going to know that those things are sitting there. Now somebody who's mysterious and mischievous will know how to do that, but most of us don't have any idea. And little bits of money could pop out of your account and you may not even pay much attention. So that's what's kind of been an interesting thing. You have to go into Facebook and you have to delete all those accounts. You know, the convenience to pay things online is not for your benefit. It's for everybody else's benefit, but it's not for your own benefit. So the best thing to do is discover a product that you like, get off of Facebook, go over to Bing or Humpty Dumpty or whatever browser you're using to search the internet, and you search from there to look for that product. You ever notice how you search for a product and all of a sudden it pops up on Facebook? Multiple times. There was one time that I was looking at this cool percussion drum. It was this ball, basically, a steel drum, flattened ball. Hit it with a beater. It's a nice music to it. I was looking at it on one of the links. I got hit with like 20 different other websites that were selling the exact same product, and most of the reviews said you're not going to get what you ordered. So there's a lot of shadiness going on out there in the world, and it's, you know, for your convenience, you know, it makes it look easy. Everybody's paying for stuff with smartphones, and you know, they're not very secure. They're not like a home computer that you can run malware on and different things. Whether it's Apple or a PC-based smartphone, you're kind of in the same thing. So it's not about being careful. You also have to think from a evil point of view to make sure that things are not, you know. I use this thing called RoboForm now, and it's like a password protected a passport that protects your passwords. You have to log into RoboForm before you can go access your site. And in PayPal in particular, I set it so that you have to enter a PIN number that gets sent to your phone to log in. That way, if someone tries to log into my PayPal and change my account password, they're gonna have to get past the calling my phone thing. So it's a double up security. It's an annoying thing. All these things are really annoying, you know, to the user, so that's why we don't do it. We want to make things easy and quick and easy. But we can't be that way today. Not the way things are. Everybody is watching it. Everything you do on a computer or a smartphone or a telephone, maybe not a landline, but if you're on a wireless device, someone is watching you. Nobody gives you anything away for free. So we have another card here that we haven't done. Sunken Treasure. Self-adventure. Now, this wasn't exactly an exciting self-adventure, but it was interesting in itself. Number 1, Unity. This is a singer card, and this is the first card of the deck, next to the one where you draw a picture of your fairy, of course. And this is a pretty card. This card here reminds me of that scene in Harry Potter. And was it the first episode? Second, third. I'm not sure. It's the one that he was in the woods, in the dark forest, and he had that deer across the way. It turned out to be, I think, his father, energy, but he didn't know it at the time. But at any rate, that's this card here. So it's a very interesting looking card. This card was in reverse, so it looks like that, which I think I determined last time was that the singer cards kind of represent the chakra system. I have videos talking about the chakra system, though, but you could do some searches on it and learn as much as you want. Basically, there are energy centers that go through your body. There's a lot of chakras throughout your whole body, and then there are chakras that are through the main part, and you have the crown chakra. It sits just above the top of your head, and then you have your third eye, which is in the middle of your forehead for clairvoyant thinking type of thing. You have a throat culture chakra for speech. You have a heart chakra for love, solar plexus for emotions, sacral for sexual creative energy, and then the root chakra at the bottom of your torso for grounding and connection to earth. Now this one was in reverse, but I'm going to show it to you vertically on the pedestal, and you'll have to flip it over for you. So perhaps what this card is doing is it's giving us a place to be for the next time. So this is the Unity card. This is the first card of the deck, with the exception of drawing your fairy, of course, which is, it seems like important to me because I bring it up every time. And that would be union and spiritual home. And that would be if all your chakras were nice and clear and straight down the middle. Now, because I had some betrayal, where would betrayal be? What chakra do you think would be betrayal would be in? Well, I think it would be in the heart. It could be the heart and it could be the solar plexus. And of course there was a sense of being stabbed in the back. So that's another wound to work on. Now I do have meditations in my that I've put up on CTSB and also on YouTube that help you work on healing the different chakras, and you should go check them out. You probably may not find them as easily on CTSB on their Vimeo, or you might be able to find them. But you can go on my YouTube channel, Rev John O'Toole, and you can search or go into the tab that has meditations. And there's a lot of them in there that I've done on working on the chakra system. So spiritual home and union. But this card was in reverse. It's overly focused, alienated, unwanted, and lonely. Overly focused, alienated, unwanted, and lonely. With all this isolation and stuff, even though things are starting to open up, it's still a possibility that it's not quite there yet. And to get back into that groove of togetherness and camaraderie, that kind of thing, it's going to take some time. Even when you do, you're going to be looking at some going, he's not wearing his mask. You suppose he has that thing? You think he's contagious? People are going to be suspicious of people for a long time. And it's unfortunate. So we need to work on our spiritual home ourselves. That means both you and me. And to bring things back in alignment and clear. And until next time, the fairy speaks for you and you and you and you and you, and especially me. And until next time, hug a fairy. The fairy is speaking for you.